Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the November 18th, 2013 meeting of the Town of Los Gatos Joint Town Council Parking Authority meeting. Please, you have a lot of folks here. If you could please silence your cell phones or put them on vibrate, that would be much appreciated. And this is where everybody quickly reaches into their purse or their pocket and turns everything off. I can see you doing it now. Madam Clerk, the roll, please.
Councilmember Joe Brzezinski.
Here.
Councilmember Marcia Jensen.
Here.
Councilmember Diane McNutt.
Here.
Vice Mayor Steve Leonardis.
Here.
Mayor and Chair Barbara Spector.
Here. At this point in our agenda, we do the Pledge of Allegiance. And tonight we have a very special leader. In a second, I'm going to ask Fran Alfson to join me up here at the dais to lead us in the pledge. I'm asking Fran to join us because she will be celebrating her 100th birthday on December 11th. Fran? Now, before I turn the microphone over to Fran, I want to tell you just a little bit about her. Come on. After 100 years, you can't possibly be, embarrassed. Fran moved to Los Gatos in 1962 and lives in the same house and loves the same neighborhood. She raised 3 daughters, all of whom live in Los Gatos. She has 6 grandchildren, one of whom was the head baseball coach at Los Gatos High School and now assistant coach at San Jose State University. All grandchildren live in Los Gatos or the Bay Area, and she has 3 great-grandchildren. She is an active member of the Los Gatos History Club and, we were told, is a force to be reckoned with at the bridge table at the Adult Recreation Center. She was a first and second grade teacher in the Moreland District for 16 years. She retired from that and joined a publishing company for 10 years, advising teachers on the background to reading. Her late husband went to Stanford and was the superintendent of Campbell Union School District. She grew up in North Dakota, where she rode a horse to school. She has very busy days, and she doesn't pay attention to her age. A round of applause. All right, if you'll stay standing, please. We will now have Fran lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
May I have one moment?
Would you like a moment with the mic?
Oh, should I talk with this? I would like to commend these people who do the work that this town needs. And the big thing that is facing them now, I think, starts with a capital T, traffic. And I think they have done a wonderful job, and I recommend them highly. Thank you. And you, congratulations for serving us.
Yes, we have something for you.
Happy birthday. Thank you. Aren't they lovely? I'm going to have a florist shop. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have one more thing for you. Well, he's not this old, but Steve Conway, where are you? Steve Conway, would you please come up? He's our finance director, and I'm inviting him up to receive the award on behalf of the town. Where are you from?
South Dakota.
South Dakota. There we go.
I rode a horse
Yeah.
I rode my horse to college.
All right, I'm handing to Steve the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, CAFR, C-A-F-R, for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2012. The town has received this award for more than a decade every year that Steve Conway has been working here. It's the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. It is judged by an impartial panel which determined that the reports demonstrated a constructive spirit of full disclosure to clearly communicate the town's financial situation. So for Steve and the town, let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much.
And I know he always has something to say.
I always have something to say, but I'll make it very brief. It's a big night. I always say every year, I'm so pleased so many people love accounting and all come out to see this award being presented. We accountants live in the back room a lot, and it's just great that the crowd comes out every year. Would like to thank the town council and the management for the support. We do prepare an annual financial report in-house every year, and we believe in the full accountability of our financial operations to the public, and we pride ourselves in that, and we look forward to hopefully winning the award next year. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Prop, closed session report, please.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, and members of the public. The Council met in closed session this evening on 2 items as noticed on the Council's agenda. The Council took no action, and there's nothing to report out this evening.
Thank you very much. If anyone wishes to address us this evening on any matter on the agenda or as a verbal communication, please submit a card and give it to the clerk over here to my left. We have had 1 card submitted so far. We now have council town manager reports. Council matters. Mr. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Spector. I attended 3 meetings on behalf of the town since our last meeting. On November 7th, I attended a meeting of the West Valley Solid Waste Management Authority, where the board evaluated 2 public employees. On November 13th, I attended a West Valley Flood Protection and Watershed Advisory Committee meeting, where we discussed policies about continued at-large committee memberships. And on November 13th, I also attended a West Valley Sanitation District Board of Directors meeting where the directors approved the annual report.
Thank you. Anyone else on the council? Mr. Przynski.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In the last 2 weeks, I've attended 3 meetings on our behalf. Chaired the Valley Transportation Authority Board of Directors meeting, was the representative for the town at the Cities Association meeting in Sunnyvale, and I was also present at the Metropolitan Transportation Commission meeting in Oakland as representative for the 15 cities and towns of Santa Clara County.
Thank you, Mr. Przynski. Anyone else? Seeing no one, we will now go on. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to make note of the fact that we go on to manager matters, but I know that the manager has nothing to report on. Is that correct? Consent items. The consent items on our calendar will be voted on in one motion unless someone from the council or the community or the audience here pulls an item from the consent calendar. Starting with the council, does anyone wish to pull an item from the consent calendar? Seeing no one. Anyone from the audience? Noting that no one is coming forward, I'm looking for a motion. Mr. Brzezinski.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Brzezinski, seconded by the Vice Mayor. Discussion, hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Passes unanimously. Verbal communications. This is the opportunity for anyone who is here this evening to address us on any matter not on our agenda. I do have one individual who has submitted a card. You will have 3 minutes. Michael DeBall, you can please come up here.
Thank you, distinguished member of the Town Council and fellow Los Gatos citizens. I'm Michael Dayball from Treasures for Teens. We are a fiscally sponsored nonprofit organization, fiscally sponsored by the Catalyst for Youth, and we offer tax deductions for donations. And what Treasures for Teens is we collect gift donations for teenagers, and we work directly with Campbell Community Toy Program and West Valley Community Services. And we are the sole provider for teenagers' gifts aged 11 to 18. And we just wanted to let everybody know that this year we decided to go really big with our goal, and we were trying to get all the 450 plus teens that we help in iPod Shuffle because music is really important to teenagers' lives. And by doing this, we've already raised $11,000, and we have a little bit less than 2 weeks remaining to raise the remaining $10,000, and we just wanted to let everybody know to pass around the word to local businesses and just try and spread the word out.
Well, before you leave, what's the easiest way for someone to contribute money to your organization? Do you have a website or something?
Yeah, the website is www.treasuresforteens.com, and it's the 4 is the number 4.
Thank you very much. I have no other cards. Anyone else wishing to address us on verbal communications? Noting that no one is coming forward, we now move forward with our appointment of mayor and vice mayor. Just to generally explain the process, the first thing that will happen is that there will be a motion to nominate a mayor, and then once we finish with that process, the vice mayor, and then when we finish with that, we will move down here to the front and go on from there. As mayor, it is my honor to be able to nominate our next mayor. And because this individual has so much energy and so much passion for our community, demonstrated passion for our community, I move into nomination Steve Leonardis, our current vice mayor, as next year's mayor.
Second.
I have a motion and a seconded by Ms. Jensen. Do we have discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Congratulations. I now have to give up my gavel.
Let's put that here for now. First, I'd like to begin by thanking Mayor Spector and the council for your vote. Being part of our town council tasked with maintaining, preserving, and enhancing this town is a great honor and an awesome responsibility. I look forward to serving with council and staff this coming year. So thank you all again. People sometimes ask me why I ran for office or how did I become involved in politics. And my short answer is I love Los Gatos, and I view myself not as a politician, but a volunteer who wants to help make Los Gatos a wonderful place to live. But those of you who know me also know my answers are never really that short. So here is a slightly longer answer I have for you. My family first moved to Los Gatos in the 80s, back when Joanne Benjamin, who is in our audience tonight, was our mayor. My parents were after those amenities Los Gatos is well known for: the natural beauty, the rich history, an ideal climate, the jobs of Silicon Valley, the hillside setting, the architecture, the parks, the shopping, the schools, and the trails, just to name a few. That gem of a town we always look forward to coming home to after a vacation. But it dawned on me when I started to raise my own family what truly makes Los Gatos a special town. It is the strong sense of community that we have here. The businesses and owners, the teachers and the principals, the service clubs, the faith organizations, the sports leagues, the Chamber of Commerce, organizations like CASA, KCAT, and Teen Force, the endless army of parent volunteers, the list goes on and on and on. It is the spirits of the volunteers who organize and run events like the Children's Holiday Parade, the Senior Thanksgiving Luncheon, which myself and several fellow council members attended the other day, Music in the Park, the Billy Jones Wildcat Railroad, the Fiesta de Arts, the Country Fair. It is the mindset of volunteers who roll up their sleeves and work hard to raise money for schools, the arts, and the library, and other causes. It is the volunteers who clean up the trails, the graffiti, and plant flowers to keep Los Gatos beautiful. It is the spirit of our educators in our schools who get their students engaged to learn and build developmental assets which will help guide our children towards brighter futures. It is the citizens who participate in local government and attend and speak at meetings, watch our webcasts, and write letters to council about your issues. As I look into the audience, I am truly humbled by your presence. Most of you in attendance tonight are or have been actively involved in building community. You are the community this council serves. You are the reason that I want to serve. You have generously given your time and talents to make your community a better place for the greater good. I am proud to have been chosen to serve as your mayor for the coming year, and I look forward to seeing you around Los Gatos. And now is the time to choose the vice mayor. And I have given this a lot of thought, and the council member, this is my first official act as mayor, by the way. The council member that I have chosen has I would like to nominate, has 2 decades of service on behalf of the town of Los Gatos, including 16 years on the Planning Commission. We are fortunate to have her on the council, and I'm proud to nominate Councilmember Marcia Jensen as the next vice mayor.
Second.
Caught me sleeping on the job. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Leonardis. For a second there, I thought you changed your mind.
It happens.
But thank you very much, Mayor Leonardis and the council, for the confidence that you've placed in me by electing me to be your next vice mayor. I look forward to a productive year of playing second fiddle and making short speeches and helping you whenever I can and helping the council whenever I can. I look forward to hearing from all of you in the audience, as I have in this past year, with your encouraging comments and or your constructive criticism. Both are welcome and help me to become a better council person, and I look forward to serving you as best I can in the year ahead. Thank you very much.
So. I'd like to invite Supervisor Mike Wasserman to the podium, please, for swearing in.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah. No. I'll tell you, it's really an honor for me to be back here tonight, see so many familiar faces and many new ones. And congratulations in advance to Hunter. You look beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. This is a very exciting evening for Los Gatos. We have our outgoing, wonderful Mayor Barbara Spector, who I'm sure we'll hear from a little bit later in the program, a little bit more. Does that work better this way? How about that? All right, there we go. Mayor Spector described Steve as having energy and passion. And I know that to be absolutely true. I also know him to be a member of a service club, the Kiwanis. I know him to be a businessman in town. I know him to be a youth sports coach. Very, very well-rounded. Marcia Jensen, tremendous woman. Intelligent, prepared, thoughtful. And I think with the leadership here, combined with the leadership here, Diane, sorry to have my back to you, with former mayors Diane, former Mayor Joe, former Mayor Barbara, et cetera. You have tremendous leadership here in Los Gatos. You heard about the CAFR, you heard about the financial situation of the town, you heard about all the wonderful things that Los Gatos has. It truly is a gem. It's an absolute blessing to live in this town and call it home. And I think a round of applause for all these people is appropriate. Okay, you two, I have a little bit to say, and then I'll need you to raise your right hand, and it's your right hand. All right. We're getting them off on a good start here. In the position, there we go. In the positions to which you have been elected by your fellow council members, you assume added responsibility in the leadership in the town of Los Gatos. Your actions and decisions must be guided by a deep and abiding concern for the best interests of the public. To you, this year comes the privilege of service to your peers and the tremendous satisfaction that is generated through the investment of your time and your talent in the lives of others. Mayor and Vice Mayor, will you raise your right hands? Do you solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that you will serve as Mayor and Vice Mayor to the best of your ability and judgment, and that you will endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interest of the town of Los Gatos?
I do.
I do.
Therefore, it is my honor to hereby proclaim that Steve Leonardis is officially installed to the position of Mayor of Los Gatos and Marcia Jensen as Vice Mayor. Congratulations. You're welcome. Thank you for doing this. Congratulations.
And now we get to say goodbye to somebody who has served our town this past year in the role of mayor and did one heck of a job during some meetings that were very crowded and some very difficult issues, but issues we always seem to work through as a council group along with the help of our staff. And that is current council member Barbara Spector and former Mayor Barbara Spector. And we have an award for Barbara that we'll be presenting here. And it looks just like the hammer she just gave me, cutaway view, to honor your role as the mayor from 2012 through 2013, and November 19th, 2012 through November 18th, 2013. And I believe we will be passing the microphone over to you for a few words. Congratulations. Thank you.
And I believe that staff has a presentation before they want me to talk. And thank you.
Barbara Spector is officially installed as mayor of Los Gatos and Steve Leonardis as its vice mayor. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you all very much. I got to give a special call out, though. I love, seeing, these movies of myself. It's my favorite thing. But somebody did a special job there, and Pamela Jacobs, thank you very much. Now, since we're doing this like fun kind of thing, I thought I'd take you back a few months, maybe it was like August or September of this past year, and the office administrator of my law firm sends me an email. And on the subject line, she says, "I think you're really going to like this." And so there was a document to open, and I opened the document, and there's this big headline that says, "I want to be a mayor." And I thought, okay, that's cool. But then I saw that the article was a New York Times article, and so I thought, well, maybe I'd better read it. And They were serious. What they were talking about there is that since the federal government was having a hard time getting anything done, and since the state governments were having a hard time getting anything done, that the only place that you could really affect anything is locally. And so the power lies with the mayor. So therefore, I want to be a mayor. Now, that made me think about this past year because the issue actually came up a couple of times. There was one time where I was going to agendize the plastic bag issue, but I thought, well, I'll wait because the state government is dealing with that, and they're going to make it so it's uniform throughout the state. That didn't happen. So I agendized it, and we dealt with it. And then there was another time when we had the firearm safety issue, and we thought, okay, let's see if we get some guidance from the federal government or the state government, and we didn't. So we agendized it, and we did it. But it all sort of makes sense if you think about it. We have some 535 people representing us in Washington, D.C. We have 120 people, I believe, in California. But we have over 18,000 cities in this country. And for those of us who govern these cities, all right, we don't need staff briefings. We don't need to test the winds or do a poll, okay? What we do is we walk in our towns and we know if they have vitality. We know if the office buildings are empty. We know if there's are cracks in the street. And because we know that, we in this council agendized over 30 items that had been backlogged when I came into the council as mayor. And we did a heck of a lot more than those. And so at this time, I want to first of all tell you that this council, with whom I work, we had this past year, I think you know how much work we did. We had regular meetings, we had special meetings, we had closed sessions, we had special sessions. And every single one of these people showed up, never complained, and did the work. Every single meeting, they were there to do the job. And I want to now thank every one of you. And you may not realize it unless you're mayor. The mayor meets with the town manager and the assistant town manager, in this case Greg Larson and Pamela Jacobs, every week. I met with them every Tuesday. And the mayor sets the agenda. And so I went into last November saying, we're going to clean this up, and we're going to do everything else that we need to do. And during the year, they never said, we can't do it. How are we going to do it? Their attitude was, just do it. And so for the two of you and everybody with whom you worked, thank you very much. And I had a heck of a lot of meetings this past year, all right? And every once in a while I would have, quite a few times when I was double booked. And so I would tell Greg's assistant, Jeanette, I can't do two things. And she said, well, I'll send an email to the vice mayor. And the vice mayor at that time, Steve Leonardis, every time I was unable to do something, he was there. And it was never even a question. He was there, and he performed his role as standing in as mayor extremely well. Thank you, Steve. And this was, again, sort of a crazy year, and so I never even bothered to think about days in advance. I dealt with my day when I got up in the morning, and then before I would leave for work, my husband would say, well, do you have a council meeting tonight? And I said, yeah. And he said, what time does it start? And I would say something, 6 o'clock. And he said, well, I'll be sure to have something for you to eat at 5 o'clock before you go. And so, Ira, not only for my pizzas, but for the support throughout the year, thank you very much. And then there are the rest of you. This year, the people of this town and the public engaged the council in precedent-setting numbers. You filled the council chambers, you filled the lobby, you filled the old library, that's it, the old library, thank you. The old library. You are the reason that we have flat screen TVs out there. And you were dealing with contentious issues that created a lot of emotion. But when you came into our council chambers, you treated one another with civility. You treated the council with civility, and you treated the process with civility. And so for that, I thank you. The other thing that you did was you used your computers and your electronic access more than I have ever seen. You used it to communicate with us, and a lot of emails there, to communicate with one another, to organize yourself, to educate yourselves. And so when you came up here to make your presentations, whether you were talking to us verbally or you were doing an audio-visual presentation, they were extremely sophisticated and they were extremely helpful. So thank you. It has been my honor to serve this beautiful, dynamic town over the past year.
Thank you once again to Mayor Spector, or former Mayor Spector, for such a wonderful year on the council. It was a pleasure having her serve as our mayor. So it comes to that point of the evening where it's time to have some thank yous and some goodbyes. First, I would like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for hosting Democracy in Action this evening. We will be adjourning this meeting to refreshments in the lobby in a few moments. Next, I would like to take the time to acknowledge some of our special guests who are in attendance this evening. We have mayors, we have vice mayors, we have council members from our neighboring cities. I will ask them to stand, and please hold your applause to the end of the introductions, please. The first is Mayor Evan Lowe from Campbell. He is also a candidate for State Assembly. Would you please stand up? And we have the Vice Mayor of San Jose and the candidate for Mayor of San Jose, Madison Nguyen. We have the Mayor of Montecito, Mr. Curtis Rogers. We have Councilmember Julie Wiltshire from Montecito. I believe we have Manny Capello from Saratoga in the lobby somewhere. There he is. We have our Los Gatos' own, the Honorable Mike Wasserman, our supervisor, who swore us in. And I want to say special thanks to Diana Abadi, the superintendent of Los Gatos Union School District, for being here this evening. Thank you all for coming, and please show a round of applause for these people who serve our regional community. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my family for your continued support, including my family that is watching via the web in Florida this evening, former Los Gatans who all had moved to Florida since. Thank you all for coming this evening. This meeting is now adjourned.